You guys want to see a live look at my wallet? Oh no, I have it. R$2 bill. R$2 Brazilian. Wow, that's rich. It's more than I've had in a long time. Thanks for checking into my bank account. Well, the State of the Union was last night, and again, I'm gonna have to calm down. Like any good American, I watched it. Obviously, that's the right thing to do. Whether you like the president or you hate the president, it's good to watch the State of the Union because it gives you an idea of what's going on. It gives you where people are at, and of course, you always get to watch the workout behind the president. I mean, have you seen those people? Holy smoke! JD and Mike Johnson they had to have burning legs. There's no way they were walking this morning. No way. Now I know RFK and Pete Hegseth, they were probably doing great. I mean, those shredded bods. But can I just say, JD and Mike Johnson must have been suffering. But that is a good sign because that means there was a lot to stand for. Well, what happened? I'll be honest. I was expecting a very drab, a very lame, a bloated State of the Union. And somehow it wasn't. His address last year was like not that great. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't amazing. I wasn't like overwhelmed with how good it was. But somehow this year, he nailed it. And I'm going to tell you guys why. I'm going to give you the secret recipe of success for Donald Trump's State of the Union address. Whether you like him or not, whoever's watching this, whether you hate Donald Trump or love Donald Trump, let's look at it from a showman's perspective and from a politician's perspective. What made that a good speech? Why was it the longest in the history of the State of the Union addresses? There's many reasons for that. We'll get into all that and more. And, well, let's just start with a stack here because 63%, according to CNN, approved of the address. 63%. That's pretty good. That's really good. That's really great. And now Trump had a strategy, and this is why this State of the Union worked out so well. This is why it worked out so well. Because he had a strategy. And he went in knowing exactly how the left side of the aisle was going to act, exactly what they were thinking, exactly what they were planning on doing, exactly what they were planning on yelling at him. And he went in and just did a smackdown. Smackdown on corruption, smackdown on failure, smackdown on woke ideology, smackdown on all the bad progressive stuff. Man, there's so much I want to say. Not enough time to say it. Firstly, our State of the Union address has changed so much. We literally... Our biggest problem is that we can't seem to stay, respectful to our position anymore. Or respectful to our government, or who we are. The privilege that the senators, representatives are given to serve the country. They don't respect that. And they did not respect the office of presidency. What's happening? A bunch of discourteous, self-entitled people that think we care when they scream at Donald Trump. Nobody cares, and nobody can hear you either. You just sound like a dying mouse on crack. I mean, that's literally... What am I supposed to do? Man? I was watching, okay? It was great. It was so much fun. I was with my family and a friend, and we were trying to stand up every time JD and Mike Johnson stood up, and boy... I just sat down under that. I was like, man, this is terrible. But the first big key moment for me was when Team USA entered, and the house went absolutely crazy. Check it out.
You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in. Go ahead. They do.
Like, yes. Just thank you. Thank you. It's so amazing. Thank you. And to all the countries who want to call us arrogant or bigoted for doing that, go ahead, because I don't care. Okay, that was so cool. That was so cool. Go ahead and call me arrogant, bigoted, whatever you want to say, for being patriotic, for loving my country, for loving how I just beat Canada at their own sport. But that was great. That was great. That was great. And the fact is, we should be unified over that. We should be proud that our country won. Period. That is something we should be unified around. And it looked so good. Because everyone stood up for that. And everyone was happy. Excited. Even people that don't care about sports, don't know what hockey is. They think it's some kind of bird or something. They still stood up for that. Okay? And our guys, so... Jack Hughes, that man is a beast. Broke teeth, scored the winning goal, and then just loved on America in every interview. Like, that is so amazing. That is how you win. That is how you make a good State of the Union address, by giving the people what they want, things that are popular with them, and things that revitalize patriotism. That is exactly what you want. And it looks so cool, man. I was in love with that. That was an amazing moment. And Trump played this whole State of the Union address so well. Here's another one. This is one of the bigger moments. Trump is playing the left. He is playing the left just to see how low they would go, how brash they can be, how ignorant they can be. And he came in knowing this is when I can point them out on a massive spotlight where tons of people are watching. I can point out how actually deranged they are. Because they're so filled with Trump derangement syndrome. So filled with it. They can't even come to reason. And he knows this. And he's using it. And they don't see it. They fall for it every time. Look at this.
One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
And once again, we break out into the USA chants, and the whole deal here, is just a simple fact that they will do nothing to make themselves look better. Nothing. They will do nothing. They so hate Trump. They so hate him that it is the end of them, and he just lives rent-free in their mind, and he knows this. People just have this derangement against this man. And for all his failures and all his shortcomings, and anytime he's messed up, we all mess up at the end of the day. But what he stands for and the promises he has kept have been incredibly valid and incredibly good things. He stood for freedom. He stood for the right to own guns. He stood for the life of children, to not allow them to be aborted. And he stood for there's only two sexes, male and female, and he stood for the real core values of America and what the chemistry of a family. This is what Trump has stood for, and they will not stand for him because they're that deranged. They're that deranged that they won't stand for things that all Americans should stand for. Things that I don't care who is in office, you stand for it. Because you're American, and that's what you do. Like, if Trump said America is amazing, America is the best, they would not stand for that because he said it. And that is the problem. That is the core issue. That's why the left is going to sink. They're already sinking because they cannot just come to terms. Okay, I may not like this guy, but we have to show some patriotism. You heard that screaming, that yelling in the background. That is Ilhan Omar yelling whatever crud she wants at Trump. No one cares. No one wants to listen to her. She should not be in America. Okay? She's done nothing but brought problems to America, and all she does with her conniving little face is lie and then trash the very country which she is supposed to be serving. Don't live in America if you don't want to love America. Leave America. No one asks you to stay. You do not have to stay. Just get out and we'll be a lot happier. You ruin what we are as a country. You ruin it. This is true for any country. Any country that has built itself up like America and has a culture and has freedoms and ideologies and it has core values. Someone who comes in and tries to ruin those things needs to be kicked out. They need to be kicked out. We have that right. And we all know the scandal of how she even is a citizen. So what on earth is she actually doing here? No one knows. No one cares. She's just making life miserable for everyone. She needs to leave. She really does. If she is not going to stand for America, then she needs to get out. She really needs to get out and go stand for something else. She's not standing for America right now. And Trump basically just blew the cover off of the liberals yesterday because he said something that every American should stand for. Americans come first, not illegals. That is so obvious. So obvious. So core. It's such a core value. And I'll never grasp how they could just be so stiff and cold to that and not stand up. It's just insane. The hatred, it blinds them. Hatred blinds people. So messed up. I can't believe they think they'll ever win with this. And if they do, it shows how really pitiful our country is right now. It shows how really pitiful our country is right now. Again, just making the case that if we can come together, if we can actually realize, okay, we're American, right? What are we doing to make America better? What are the core values of America that we want to keep? The problem is there's so much, there's so many progressives in America right now that the idea is always changing. That's not a good thing. That's not always a good thing. Okay, I understand improving technology, improving transportation, improving teaching methods. That makes sense. There are certain things that do not need to change. Like the belief that killing babies is murder. That should not be changing, but it has. Or that men can marry men, or girls can become men and men can become girls. That's not normal. That's just weird and stupid and unscientific and moronic, and it's what divides our country. And it's what gets people telling the truth killed. In case you have forgotten who shot Charlie Kirk, it was a guy dating a trans dude. What are you gonna do? Is this really your face? Like, there are liberals I have come to respect that I can listen to. I can see where they're coming from because they're well spoken. They are good orators, and they know exactly what they want to get across. And even if I disagree with them, I can see Bill Maher. Okay, don't love the guy, but he often makes some very good points against how woke the left has gotten. And I can respect that. And I can see him, I can say, he sees something that lots of people are not seeing. And I really do respect that. But most liberals, and I'm sorry, most of the left is not like that. And yes, there are the nut jobs on the right too. Okay, I'm not saying there are not. There are the crazies on the right that will do insanely radical things. Okay. Say the most absurd stuff, get caught up in this anti-Semitic, racist, whatever, conglomeration of stupid ideology. And my point is, it happens on both sides of the aisle, but more so on the left, just statistically, just what we've seen in the last 4 years. Okay, it has to stop. It has to stop. And again, Trump knows exactly what he's doing. This is when he brought up the Save America Act. Check this out.
I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act. To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. That cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel.
Guess who's cooking? The president. That's who. Okay, just popular with Americans. It just is. This is what Americans want. Okay, they want a safe country, and they want a country in which they are making the choices, not that people don't belong here. And again, you saw the whole left side is just sitting down. That's not a good look for them. No, oh my goodness, how? It's not that hard. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to get close and personal again. So, my point is, are you comfortable? Okay. My point is, if I say murder is bad and you're like, what are you talking about? Then you look really bad to people. Got it? Did you guys get it? That was a tough one. See, that's really hard to understand. But if I say something that's bad is bad and you disagree, people won't like that. I know it's hard to believe. I know. Because we've been raised in this society where it's just like whatever you want, you know? If you want to eat chocolate all day, go ahead. See what happens to you. Be sumo wrestling for a living next. My point is, it's just not a good look. You stand for what's popular with America. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do if you want to be successful, if you want to make your party look good. That's what you have to do. Care, it's called politics, and it's what you do. Okay, you don't have to like the messenger. The messenger is not he's not. The messenger does not always affect the message, again. And you just have to accept that if the messenger is Donald Trump and you hate Donald Trump, but he says something like America is the greatest country in the world, you must stand up. Because Americans want to see that. Well, this was a terrible showing by the left through the whole State of the Union. I mean, this is how it went the whole time. They didn't stand up for veterans. They didn't stand up for the mother of the slain Ukrainian. They didn't stand up for a girl who was assaulted by an illegal immigrant. All these things. They didn't stand up for a man who was severely injured carrying out Maduro from Venezuela. Just so dumb. Like, it just... I really don't want to be that, annoying guy who just criticizes and criticizes. But there was very little good showing from the left. But there's a big but here. There was someone I was very happy, very pleased with. And we have seen him on the show before. Is John Fetterman. Look what he said. He was on Fox. Look what he said, and I totally agree with him.
What do you think of the decision they made?
Well, I mean, it's just disappointing, honestly. I mean, I think that's sad that I think half of my colleagues didn't show up. I mean, that's not a judgment, but for me, it's like, so for me, that's, I think show up. You don't have to clap for everything. You don't have to agree with anything. I think we're in a different place right now where it's now people not even going to show up or doing other kinds of alternative things. So for me, that's, I think so.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you think the State of the Union address has changed for good now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He saw it. He saw what was wrong with his party. And this is the second time we've talked about on this show where he's pointed out how stupidly his party is acting. And it's crazy that you even have to do this with the party you're aligned with. It's just crazy. You shouldn't have to, because if you have put yourself in a party, you've affiliated yourself with the party. You say, this party is what my core values are. This party represents what I believe, my fundamentals. These are my rudiments. Well, then you should mostly agree with what that party does. But then he has all these complaints about his party because his party Where's the respect? Where's the logic? There's no logic. Oh my goodness, guys. I don't know how many times I have to say this. There's no logic to any of it. It doesn't make sense. Why are you wearing frog costumes to this Swamp of the Union, whatever it's called? I don't know, guys. Oh, just thinking about it makes me want to, like, I don't know, fall asleep for a really long time. I love America. I love America to death. I love America so much. And I believe God is doing something great, but goodness, some people, am I right? Like, our motherland suffers with her children. Can I just, amen, amen, preach. All right, well, that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. God bless, and I'll catch you all in the next one.